Hello friends, and welcome to my 2025 year in review video. January started out with a lot of hope for the new year with our annual New Year's Eve and New Year's Day appetizer party. So we had barely gotten into the new year and all was going well until about the middle of January. I can't remember the exact date. Something happened that should have clued us into how the rest of 2025 was going to go. Well, hi guys. I'm down in my office and I'm getting ready to edit this grocery haul video for you. And I told you that there was a story I needed to tell you, and just hold on to the end of the video and I would tell you the story. This day did not go as planned, to say the least. When I got home from town, it was around a little before 1 o'clock, and I had brought all the Kroger groceries in, and I had filmed that part of the haul. And I brought in just a little bit of the Aldi groceries, and I decided that I was really hungry and I would go ahead and eat a little lunch and then finish bringing the Aldi food in and film that part of the haul and finish out the video. I had burgers left over, and so I was fixing myself a burger for lunch and got it all ready, and I went and sat down on the couch, and Percy, you saw in those video clips, he was acting perfectly normally. He was getting into things like he always does. He was acting perfectly normally yesterday when he got his new toy. Well, I was eating my burger and I was sitting on the couch in the living room, and I was actually watching Ryan Hall, a video that he put up today. And I heard a noise to my right, and I looked, and it was Percy, and he was running around the end of the couch towards the middle of the living room floor, and he was acting really, really weird, and I didn't know what on earth was going on. He was holding his body weird. He was holding his head kind of to the side, and he was like, it was almost like half of his body was like paralyzed. And I was like, what's wrong? I was like, he didn't fall. I was thinking in my mind, did he get hurt? Did he break his leg? What is going on? So it was just like a split second. I jumped up and put my burger on the counter. Totally didn't have any appetite. And at that time he had come to the middle of the room, and he was on the rug, and he was just, thrashing around and is shaking really, really bad. He was not making any noise. He wasn't whining or barking or anything. And I got down and I tried to hold him, and he was just thrashing and thrashing, and his limbs, all of his legs, just got stiff, straight out and stiff. And he had his teeth clenched, and his eyes were all like bugging out. And I was thinking, all these thoughts were going in my mind, like, are you choking? And I put my head down, and he was breathing, and I lifted up his lip, and to try to look in his mouth, and there was like foam in his mouth, and it scared me to death. I thought my dog was dying. I've never been so scared in my entire life. And I thought, did you get poisoned? I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was wrong with him. And not that long ago, maybe 6 months ago now, my dad's dog just dropped dead. It was determined that she had had a heart attack. And I was thinking, is he having a heart attack? He's only 18 months old. And then I thought, is he having a seizure? I'd never experienced that before. I didn't know what it looked like. And so I was just holding him and talking to him and petting him. And my phone was in the other room. I couldn't even call the vet, and I was home alone. And I don't know how long went by, maybe 2 minutes, seemed like forever. He kind of started to come out of it, and he kind of got up and he went to go outside, and he was super wobbly, like his back legs weren't going to hold his weight, and he kept slipping and falling, and he went out the dog door, and I ran and got my phone to call the vet, and he came back in the house, and he ran and jumped up on the love seat, and I went over and sat down by him, and he was just trembling all over. His whole body was just trembling. And so I got the vet on the phone, and they put me right to a vet tech. And I was very upset, trying to explain what happened. And then all of a sudden he vomited all over the love seat. And I was on the phone, and I'm like, oh, he just vomited. And then he went into another one of those thrashing, stiff, and I said, I think he's having another seizure. I explained to him, and she said, it sounds like a seizure. And she's like, can you get here? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like hyperventilating. I was bawling. She's like, you need to calm down, but we want you to get here, we want you to get here safely, but get here as fast as you can. And I said, I'm all by myself, but I'll try to get there, I'll try to manage. So Percy had jumped down back off of the love seat, and he went into the kitchen, kind of into the corner, and I went in there to pick him up to take him to the car, and he was thrashing around again, and he was so stiff, and it felt like he weighed 60 pounds. He was just so heavy, and I couldn't manage him and my purse, so I took him out to the car and put him in the front seat because I still had groceries in the back seat, and ran back in the house and got my purse, and he just laid in the front seat most of the way to the vet. About 5 minutes before we got to the vet, he actually sat up and started looking out the car window at the traffic and stuff. Started to act a little bit more like himself. And then by the time we actually got into the vet, he was pretty much acting himself. His temperature was normal. They said his pupils were a bit dilated, but he was panting, but he does that when he's nervous at the vet. They ran blood work, and they did it in-house so that I got the results right away. And all of his blood work came back normal. Very, very, very good, the vet said. They were looking for underlying conditions that could possibly point towards a tumor of some sort. And everything came back normal. The vet gave him a physical exam and looked at his blood work results, looked at his age, and she said that it is idiopathic epilepsy.
February was a quiet month for us as Olivia was thick in the middle of her second semester of her first year of college. Travis turned 27 years old, and Scott and I celebrated our 31st wedding anniversary. What's the old saying about March? If it comes in like a lamb, it'll go out like a lion, or if it comes in like a lion, it will go out like a lamb. March 2025 came out like a roaring lion.
Hi guys, this is Sunday. We had a major storm come through about an hour ago, and we've already started cleaning up some of the mess, but I'll insert pictures of our house. We had a huge tree come through our roof, and it's totally destroyed our small bathroom. It destroyed our our kitchen, between our kitchen and living room. Ceiling, the roof is gone, and Olivia's roof is totally destroyed. We had insulation like knee deep in here, and we had to get it cleaned up as fast as possible so we could let the dogs back upstairs. I was sitting on the couch, and Scott and Travis were looking out the patio door watching the storm, and we were listening to Ryan Hall, and we were just contemplating going down in the basement, and the storm hadn't hit us yet, but when it hit us, there was nothing. It was so fast, and it happened so quickly that the tree, I didn't even hear anything except for a crash, and I looked, and there was a tree through my roof, through my ceiling, and I started screaming, and Olivia was in her room and just had gotten Artie, her bird. She was covered in insulation, and Scott yelled, "Get in the basement," and so we went in the basement, and the dogs went in the basement, and we stayed down there for a while, and then came back up, and here's the pictures of what we saw.
April is my birthday month, but this April I spent my birthday in the basement because we were still experiencing many storms. It was a very, very stormy spring and summer for us in 2025. April also brought in Easter, which we enjoyed celebrating, and thankfully we were able to remain in our house while we waited for contractors and insurance companies and all of the things that you have to wait on, the waiting game that you play when you are trying to get your life put back together. Olivia had to take up residence in the basement because her bedroom was uninhabitable. May was a time of just pushing forward, getting ready for spring, getting ready for the garden, and getting used to living in a house that was kind of dilapidated. We worked in the garden and we just acted as though our life was going to be just normal again, working in the gardens and planting vegetables and planting flowers and just moving forward. May also brought with it the last day of Olivia's first year of college, and this is her final project for one of her agriculture classes. She passed with straight A's, and she is on the dean's list after her first year of college. May is also Olivia's birthday month, and she turned 25 years old. Well, good morning, guys. It is Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, and I'm going to start my Wednesday video today. We got some exciting news yesterday. If nothing happens, as far as weather goes, they are going to come Tuesday morning and get started on the roof. So this weekend, and Memorial Day in particular, we will be vacating the house and moving to the camper. June was spent in the camper. We stayed the entire month of June in the camper, and we moved back into the house on July 4th weekend. July was the highlight of our year as we were able to move out of the camper back into our house after having spent so many weeks in the camper. It was so nice to get back into our house that was nicely remodeled, and July was spent unpacking and settling in.
I am so excited to share with you the transformation in my house. It is so beautiful. At least I think it's beautiful. My contractor made my dream come true, and I'm so excited to share my home with you. So, without further ado, welcome to my home.
Oliver also had a surgery in July to remove a lump, and it did turn out to be nothing but a cyst, which we were very thankful for. August was filled with heat, more storms, gardening, tree removal, Olivia's baptism, and another sad event.
And here we go.
Sit down, all the way down. All the way down. You sit.
Give birthday boy his first. Or give it to him at the same time. That's probably better. What you got? What's you got, purse? Is that your birthday present?
Get your spot. Come on, get your spot. He's gonna be confused because
Here you go. Allie knows what to do with whipped cream. He's going for the whipped cream and not the cookie. Oh, he just ate the cookie. Happy birthday first. He's got whipped cream on his nose.
and his ears, I'm sure.
And Bo's enjoying his over there.
I think they probably like whipped cream better than that dog ice cream anyway.
Yeah, it's when it's cold.
And probably.
What do you think, Bo?
Oliver lost his cookie behind there.
Oh. Bobo. Hi, did you get a nice treat? Did you get a nice little treat? There's still some whipped cream on there.
Olivia, in front of all these people, and in front of God, we baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
So we got a tree guy here, and he's going to be taking down 11 trees. And he's taking down currently the tree that broke and fell in our house. They literally climbed the tree and cut the branches off. And then they use ropes to lower the big chunks down. He's a young guy. He's a student. He's going to school for tree science? There's a name for that. I can't remember. And he's going to do this job for us for very reasonable. He's using it as a summer job. And he told my husband, told Scott, because he just likes doing it and he thinks it's fun. Wanted to take you guys out to give you an update on the trees coming down, and there's a crop duster going over, so got you a shot of that. It went straight over my house. The tree guys were here till dusk last night because this monster right here was the last big pine tree for them to take down, and he wanted to get it to where, in case we have a storm, there would be no chance of it falling. Oh, here comes the crop duster again. And so this is the rest of the tree that they're going to have to come back at a later date, but it is so blasted hot right now that they're not going to come back for a few days, which is fine. They were here for 3 days in a row. They got all of the big logs cut up in pieces. They know somebody who wants this wood, so yay, it's going to be gone. And now I have a kind of a sad update. One of my barn cats, my outside cats, chicken cat, if you remember her, disappeared about a week ago, and not seen her since.
And sadly, she never did show back up. We will never know exactly what happened to her, but we're thinking maybe a coyote got her, or any number of things could have happened. So it was very sad that we had to say goodbye to Chicken Cat. Our gardens were very hit and miss this year. We had a bumper crop of tomatoes, tons and tons of tomatoes. In fact, we probably would still be having tomatoes to this day if we hadn't had freezing weather. But our cucumbers were very sparse. It was very disappointing. And Olivia's experiment with Brussels sprouts ended in disaster as they were completely decimated by some sort of a caterpillar infestation. September and October were very chilled out months. It was starting to cool down and we were starting to feel fall in the air, and we were able to start decorating the house for fall and start gearing up for the holidays. October also brought some new visitors to our home as 3 kittens showed up. I only have 2 pictured. The third one is very flighty, but we have Pumpkin, Spice, and Latte. Spice is the one that's not pictured. November brought an unseasonably cold Arctic blast, record snowfall, and Thanksgiving. And here we are on the cusp of a brand new year. You'll be watching this video on New Year's Eve, and tomorrow will be a brand new year. 2025 was full of a lot of bad things, actually. You know about a lot of the bad things that happened, and there's some bad things that happened that I can't share publicly, but it was a rough year for the Floras, and through it all, the Lord was with us. He made his presence known even stronger than he ever has before, because the Bible promises that he will be with you and he will never forsake you. And my prayer for you and for us as well is that 2026 will be a year of growth, spiritual growth, drawing closer to the Lord, no matter what the year may bring. Thank you so much for watching this video and for being with me over the past year. Your friendships, your loyalty to my channel, to viewing my videos each week means the world to me. I cannot express to you enough how much it means to me to have all of you in my life. I pray that the Lord will bless you in the coming year, and we'll just spend this new year of 2026 together through all of its ups and downs. Thank you so much for watching, friends, and we'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful new year. Bye-bye.